Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and showing you some swatches of the latest collection by Sleek Cosmetics, which is called Distorted Dreams. So as you guys know, I am on Sleek's PR list and they invite me along to a lot of their launch events as they are up and coming. And this collection is going to be released on the 31st of May. So the collection itself is a highlighting palette along with 3 metallic Matte Me Up lip creams, which is really exciting. As many of you guys know, the Matte Me Up lip creams are pretty decent. And before I show you the products themselves, let me just read a little bit about the actual collection so you guys know. This is from an official PR release which was sent to everybody that attended the event a few weeks ago. So it says, "Get glazed AF." Obviously we know what that means. With Sleek's all-new Iridescent Distorted Dreams collection. It comes with, as I said, a highlighting palette, which is 5 shades in a mixture of cream and powdered textures. And they are reflective with holographic pigments and can be used to illuminate your eyelids, cheeks and your lips for an almost supernatural glow. Hey! And then the Matte Me Up shades, which are a staple in many people's makeup bag. They have now decided to also release metallic versions. So they are available in 3 on-trend shades for a foil-like finish. And that is basically it. So the actual palette itself retails in at $10.99, and the Matte Me Metallic Matte Lip Creams are $4.99 each. So all very affordable. As you guys know, Sleek is a drugstore brand that caters towards, or initially they started off as a brand which catered towards women of colour, but then they cater towards fair to medium to dark to extra dark. So they basically cover the whole spectrum of skin tones, which is amazing. So this is what the palette itself looks like. A little bit different to the other ones. They've all got different types of packaging, but this one is obviously shiny and silver in a hardcore heavy duty plastic even hardcore heavy duty case. And I do apologize, it's going to look very messy on the inside, but that is how it is when you have got normally a highlighting palette. So this one here and that one at the top are the powders, and then the other 3 are the cream ones. Now they have got the names on the back of what each one is called, but unfortunately I can't tell what is what. It just says the name like refracted, but I don't know which one of these is refracted, so I'm just gonna poorly just describe them to you. So with a lot of Sleek's highlighting palettes, they are excellent. The Solstice one is probably still the #1 selling one. Of course, so many people heard about it after Jaclyn Hill absolutely raved about it, and I obviously went out and got it too. I don't have the Cleopatra's one, which is one of the most recent ones, which is why I was quite happy to try this one. I do have to admit, I am a big lover of powder highlighters, but not so much cream highlighters. I think it's a matter of choice. Some people like cream, some people don't. I'm more of a powder kind of person. So even though I have used all of them, I have definitely gone more towards the powder shades. So what I'll do is I will show them all to you and show you some swatches as well and let you know what my thoughts are. So this is the powder one at the top, and it's a beautiful golden shade, very velvety and soft. I really like the Sleek powder highlighters. And then I'll show you this one here, which is the second powder highlighter. And this one is a gorgeous icy pink. This one is probably my most favourite pink highlighter out of my entire highlighter collection. I'm going to suddenly stop just to rave about this shade. I've got loads of highlighters, as I'm sure many of you guys have. But when it comes to pink, I always find that when you apply it to your face, whatever the base shade is always tends to show up more than the actual shade itself. So if you've got a pink highlighter, which is an icy one, the silver in it will show through more than the pink. And if you've got a more warm toned one, the golden shades will show through more than the pink as well. This is the first highlighter I have ever come across that doesn't happen. When I apply it to my face, it shows up a beautiful wash of pink, and I love it, and it's so gorgeous, it's so wearable. It will definitely work well on all skin tones, so don't be afraid thinking, oh, I'm quite dark and the pink's going to look a bit harsh. It actually looks really gorgeous, and I love the fact that no base shade within it shows through. It shows exactly how it shows here. You can definitely build up that glow, but I do have to compare it to the Solstice one and say the shades in the Solstice one are a lot more powerful. Now, I'm not saying that these are not that good, but they're definitely buildable, I have to say, but they're quite soft in terms of how highlighty you can get. And that's fine, because not a lot of people want a super mega highlight. And why not? Why do you have to be forced almost into wearing something which is like the Solstice one, which is mega full on, and for some people it's a little bit too much. And I like the fact that this is a little bit of a toned down version of the highlightiness that you get with that kind of palette, because I'm sure you guys can see it yourself. Got it here. It's not that it's not showing up, it's that it's just not as full on, and I like that about this. So now I'm going to show you the cream highlighters. So this first one here, so this one is a lovely icy pink. As you can see, it would look really nice layered with this. This middle one here. This next one is like a bluish purpley sort of shade. Depending on how the light hits it is depending on like what shade actually shows up. I love this. I love that, again, it's that kind of unique sort of shade, but it's not too in your face. Obviously, I've layered it quite thickly, but if you apply it to your face, it'll be really subtle, different kind of glow. And then this one here is the last one. And then this one is a beautiful kind of mint silvery green. Again, very similar to the one next to it in terms of how it shows up, the texture, and it's an absolutely beautiful shade. Now, being very honest with you guys, as I've said, I'm not a big fan of cream highlighters, but I do like the way they've done this. It's still a very subtle kind of glow, so meaning even though it's a unique green shade, and who wants to wear green on their to highlight their face, it'll look very subtle and still look very beautiful. And then you can always layer it with the gold to make it more wearable on your face. So I'm really happy with this palette. I do have to say though, as a big fan of sleek highlighters, I really wish that they would come out with one powder highlighting palette, that is, purely because I know that many people like me tend to go more towards powder highlighters than cream highlighters. At least this way you're giving them a choice. So rather than coming out with 3 creams and 2 powders, I would have done it the other way around, just because I know that more people will use the powder highlighters. But regardless, I think this is a gorgeous holographic beautiful palette. For $10.99 you can't go wrong for 5 different types of shades. So I think it's absolutely lovely. So the next part of the collection are the 3 Matte Me Metallic Matte Lip Creams. Straight off, these are absolutely excellent. I love these. Now, some of the matte creams I've got, I'm not a huge fan of them, but when I got the chance to try these, I was like, okay, let me see if they're like the other ones. They're so different. Before I actually show you lip swatches, which is what I'm going to do, just so that you guys can see what it looks like on my medium skin tone. The texture is very light, very like kind of whipped sort of cream texture. It applies beautifully, and what I love about this, you can layer them. So some people don't like metallic because it's got so much kind of glitter and shine to it. So if you imagine one layer, you get a very soft wash of colour. You can put another layer and another layer and another layer. You can put loads of layers until it builds up to the intensity that you want. But when it comes to liquid lipsticks, what happens when you put on too many layers? It becomes sticky and it becomes uncomfortable. That is the opposite of these. You can keep layering them and they don't become uncomfortable. They're actually very wearable. So I'm actually really impressed with the quality of these. I like all 3 shades. I've worn all of them and I think they look beautiful. They wear beautifully throughout the day. They don't feel dry and don't constrict your lips. Your lips, you can still move them around. And I also don't find them overly sticky as well, like you can with a lot of liquid lipsticks, especially if you've layered it too much. For me, and for full intensity, I normally like to go in with about 3 layers. And with 3 layers, I get as much product as I personally, myself, like. And it still feels really nice and comfortable on the lips. So I'm really impressed with these. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wipe my current liquid lipstick off. This is I'm Shook from Jefree Star's Manny MUA collab. And as with all liquid lipsticks, you just need something oil-based to remove it. I'm just using Vaseline because it's easy and it's so cute and little. And then I'm going to show you lip swatches of all of these. And just to show you what the applicator looks like, a very standard doe foot applicator, but making it very easy to apply nice clean lines. It's not too fluffy either, meaning you don't make any smudges or mistakes. So this one is called Rusted Rose. So this is how it looks with just one layer. As you can see, it's quite light. It's not over the top, but it's still a very nice visible sort of, it's called Rusted Rose, so I definitely say it's like a rose sort of shade, but it's more like an off purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer it a little bit more just so that you guys can see how I like to wear it myself. So this is Rusted Rose with 3 layers on. Not sticky. It's pretty much almost dry, but it's still not sticky. Normally things when they start to dry is when they start to get really sticky. But as you guys can see, it's perfectly fine. So I actually really like this shade, and I really like the formula as well. I really like the fact that you can build it up from something quite sheer, and I'm sure if I applied even more layers it could make it even more intense. This shade is called Volcanic. So this is Volcanic, and this is 1 layer. As you guys can see, it's a very kind of silvery, mauvey sort of shade. So it's not the same as the other one, which is a little bit more warm toned. And I really like this shade too. It really works well when I'm going for more cool tone sort of looks, and it works really well used with the Distorted Dreams highlighting palette as well. So let me just layer this a little bit more to show you guys how I like to wear it. So this one only seems to need 2 layers to get opaque coverage. Again, it's up to you if you want to layer it a lot more to make it more holographic-y, more kind of glittery, in your face, spaceman, that sort of thing. But I personally love this shade. So I'm just going to take off this one, and then I'm going to show you the final one. This one is called Roman Copper. So this is 1 layer of Roman Copper. I do have to say, out of all of them, this one is my favorite shade. I love it. It's, again, very buildable. This is just 1 layer. This shade reminds me a lot of Pussy Whipped by Jefree Star, but this one is definitely a lot more copper and a lot more warm. That one's a lot more of a peachy gold, but generally I love this shade the most. It's definitely the most wearable and will work well on all skin tones. You just layer this up a little bit more. Really love it. It's like having gold lips, but you don't look weird, like a throwback to the 80s or something like that. Yeah, overall, love this shade. It's gorgeous. Definitely work well as an everyday work kind of makeup lipstick as well, for those of you who love to wear makeup to work but don't want it to be too overpowering or too overboard, but still want something metallic and wearable. This one will definitely work for you. Maybe not this many layers, because even in person it is still woo, but maybe 1 layer. That would definitely look lovely, because it will be nice and sheer. So that's it for my review, along with swatches of the latest Sleek Collection Distorted Dreams. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just an FYI, Sleek did not ask me to do this video. They have not influenced me in any way, and I'm not getting paid to do this by Sleek either. These are my genuine and honest thoughts. That's the word. Couldn't even think of the word thought. Stupid. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye.